Ever wondered why your mind feels heavy, even when there's nothing physically weighing it down? Today, we dive into the intricate world of mental health, an aspect of our lives that is as significant as it is invisible. We are all familiar with the idea of physical health, but mental health, though equally vital, tends to be overlooked and underappreciated. But what is mental health, really? It's more than simply the absence of mental illness. It's about feeling good about yourself, about possessing a sense of purpose, about being able to handle stress and bounce back from adversity. It's about being capable of forming meaningful connections with others and knowing that you are contributing to your community in a positive way. Mental health is the underlying fabric that weaves together our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. It's the unseen foundation upon which we build our lives. And just like a building with a weak foundation is prone to collapse, a life built on poor mental health can easily crumble under pressure. Now you might be wondering, why is mental health so important? Well, mental health influences everything from how we think and feel to how we act and react. It affects our relationships, our productivity, and even our physical health. It impacts every facet of our lives, from our personal happiness to our societal well-being. Yet, despite its importance, mental health is often taken for granted. It's easy to ignore, to push aside, to dismiss as unimportant. After all, it's not something we can see or touch. It's an invisible force, quietly shaping our lives from the shadows. But just because something is invisible does not mean it is insignificant. The wind may be invisible, but it can uproot trees and form powerful storms. In the same way, mental health, though unseen, holds immense power over our lives. So, let's shine a light on this invisible force. Let's acknowledge its power, its influence, its significance. Let's recognize that mental health is not just about avoiding mental illness, but about fostering mental wellness. It's about building a strong foundation for our lives, a foundation built on self-worth, resilience, and healthy relationships. Mental health, an invisible yet significant part of our lives, is as crucial as our physical health. What if we told you that mental health isn't simply a case of healthy or unhealthy? Mental health is a complex, multifaceted aspect of our overall well-being. Like the colors of a rainbow, it spans a spectrum, weaving a tapestry of human experiences that range from optimal mental well-being to various mental health conditions. At one end of this spectrum, we have optimal mental well-being. This is where an individual is functioning at their best. They are able to handle the normal stresses of life, work productively, and make meaningful contributions to their community. But as we move along this spectrum, we encounter different degrees of mental health. These can range from temporary stress and anxiety caused by life events to more persistent and serious conditions such as depression, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia, among others. It's important to note that everyone's place on this mental health spectrum can change over time, and often it's a dynamic process. Factors such as genetics, environment, and life experiences can all influence where an individual falls on this spectrum at any given moment. For instance, someone who generally enjoys optimal mental health may experience periods of severe stress or anxiety due to a traumatic event, pushing them towards a different point on the spectrum. Conversely, an individual living with a mental health condition can also experience periods of improved mental health with proper support and treatment. But here's the thing. There is no right or wrong place to be on this spectrum. Each of us has our unique mental health journey, and it's perfectly normal for this journey to have its ups and downs. The key is to understand that it's okay not to be okay sometimes, and to seek help when needed. So let's shatter the misconception that mental health is a simple binary of healthy or unhealthy. The reality is far more nuanced. It's a vast spectrum, an ever-evolving landscape of human experiences, emotions, and states of being. Remember, mental health is not binary. It's a spectrum where everyone falls somewhere. Did you know that nearly 1 billion people around the world are grappling with mental health issues? Quite a staggering figure, isn't it? It's as if we've stumbled upon a silent epidemic, one that's lurking in the shadows, largely unseen and often unacknowledged. Yet it's a reality that's as real as the air we breathe. In every corner of the globe, from the bustling metropolises to the quietest rural villages, mental health issues are omnipresent. They don't discriminate based on age, race, gender, or socioeconomic status. They can affect anyone and everyone, leaving no stone unturned. Let's take a moment to digest some numbers. The World Health Organization reports that 1 in 4 people will be affected by mental or neurological disorders at some point in their lives. That's about 2 billion individuals worldwide. Meanwhile, approximately 300 million people are living with depression, making it the leading cause of disability globally. Moreover, the global burden of mental health issues is growing. By the year 2030, it's projected that depression alone will be the leading cause of disease burden worldwide, outpacing heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Yet despite these alarming figures, the silent epidemic of mental health issues often goes unnoticed. Why is that? Well, there are many reasons. For one, mental health issues aren't always visible. They often exist beneath the surface, hidden behind a facade of normalcy. For another, there's often a stigma attached to mental health issues, leading many individuals to keep their struggles to themselves. Moreover, mental health issues are often underreported. In many parts of the world, mental health services are severely under-resourced, leaving millions without access to the care they need. As a result, many people with mental health issues remain undiagnosed and untreated. So we find ourselves in the midst of a silent epidemic, one that's affecting nearly 1 billion people worldwide. Yet, despite the staggering numbers, mental health often remains a silent epidemic. A challenge we must face, a conversation we must start, and a cause we must champion. Depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, what do these terms truly entail? When we talk about mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder, we are not merely discussing fleeting feelings or temporary states of mind. Rather, we are addressing serious conditions that have a profound impact on an individual's life. Depression, for instance, is more than just feeling sad or blue for a few days. It's a persistent feeling of sadness or loss of interest that can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. It can interfere with your ability to work, sleep, eat, and enjoy once pleasurable activities. Similarly, anxiety is not just feeling nervous before a big presentation or a first date. It's a disorder characterized by feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear that are strong enough to interfere with one's daily activities. It can manifest in many forms, including panic disorders, social anxiety disorders, and specific phobias. And then there's bipolar disorder, a condition that is often misunderstood and stigmatized. It's not just mood swings or unpredictable behavior, but a serious mental health condition that causes extreme mood swings, including emotional highs, known as mania or hypomania, and lows, known as depression. These disorders are not choices, nor are they indicative of a person's character or strength. They are medical conditions, just like heart disease or diabetes, and they deserve the same level of understanding and compassion. It's crucial to remember that these conditions are common and treatable. Millions of individuals around the world live with these disorders, and with the right treatment and support, they can lead fulfilling, productive lives. So when we talk about mental health disorders, we're not just discussing abstract concepts or labels. We're talking about real conditions that affect real people every single day. Understanding these disorders is the first step towards breaking the stigma surrounding them. Why is it easier to tell someone you have a fever than to admit you're feeling depressed? Here we are at the core of the matter, the stigma surrounding mental health. This invisible barrier that often keeps individuals from seeking the help they need. It's a societal phenomenon, a cultural construct, a product of misinformation and misunderstanding that has persisted throughout the ages. Imagine suffering in silence, fearful of judgment, scared of being labeled weak or crazy. That's the reality for countless individuals grappling with mental health issues. We live in a society that praises physical strength and resilience, yet often dismisses emotional struggles as signs of weakness. The consequences of this stigma are far-reaching and deeply ingrained. It can lead to isolation, distancing individuals from the support and understanding they desperately need. It can also deter people from seeking professional help, worsening their conditions and leading to a downward spiral of despair. Furthermore, the stigma can also seep into the professional sphere, adding another layer of hardship. Employers may hesitate to hire someone with a known mental health condition, fearing that it might affect their performance or create a negative vibe in the workplace. This stigma isn't just damaging on an individual level, it permeates our entire society, contributing to a culture of silence and shame around mental health. It's a vicious cycle. The more we stigmatize mental health, the less people are willing to talk about it, and the less we talk about it, the more it is stigmatized. But we can change this narrative. We can dismantle the misconceptions, challenge the stereotypes, and promote understanding and empathy. We can create safe spaces for open dialogue, where individuals feel comfortable sharing their experiences without fear of judgment. It's not an easy task, but it's a necessary one. Because at the end of the day, the mind is just as important as the body. And just like physical health, mental health deserves to be acknowledged, understood, and cared for. Stigma breeds silence, and it's high time we shatter this silence. So, how can you nurture your mental health and help others do the same? Well, let's dive right in. Firstly, practicing self-care is a non-negotiable. This doesn't just mean bubble baths and scented candles, although they can certainly be a part of it. Self-care means setting boundaries and saying no when you need to. It means eating well, getting regular exercise, and ensuring you get enough sleep. It means taking time each day to do something that fills your cup. Whether that's reading a book, going for a walk, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea. Secondly, don't be afraid to reach out for help when you need it. This could be confiding in a trusted friend or family member, or seeking professional help. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. You don't have to do this alone, and reaching out for support is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of strength. Furthermore, it's important to support others in their journey. Sometimes, this might mean simply listening without judgment. Other times, it might mean encouraging them to seek help, or even going with them to an appointment. It's crucial to remember that everyone's mental health journey is different, and what works for one person might not work for another. Lastly, if you or someone you know is really struggling, consider seeking professional help. There's no shame in needing medication or therapy. In fact, these can be powerful tools in the journey towards mental health. Remember, mental health is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to have bad days, it's okay to struggle. What's important is that you keep going, keep trying, and keep reaching out for help when you need it. Taking care of your mental health is not a sign of weakness, it's a testament to your strength. So, take charge, nurture your mental well-being, and remember, it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to navigate this journey alone. In a world where you can be anything, be kind to others and yourself. This is the core message we've been unpacking throughout this conversation. Let's take a moment to revisit the major points we've discussed and tie them together in a way that underlines the importance of understanding, accepting, and discussing mental health openly. We started by unveiling the invisible, shedding light on the fact that mental health is as real and as significant as physical health. We then moved along the mental health spectrum, underscoring the reality that mental well-being isn't a binary state, but a continuum. From the peaks of mental wellness to the valleys of mental illness, we all reside somewhere on this spectrum. We then dove into the silent epidemic, the global surge of mental health disorders that often go unnoticed and untreated. We unmasked these disorders, breaking down the symptoms and impacts of conditions like depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder. We stressed the importance of recognizing these disorders not as personal failings, but as legitimate health issues that need care and attention. The stigma around mental health and its consequences was our next point of focus. We discussed how societal misconceptions and prejudices can exacerbate mental health issues, and the need for us to challenge and change these misguided attitudes. We then explored how to take charge of our mental health, emphasizing the importance of self-care, professional help, and supportive communities. We highlighted the power of resilience and how taking care of our mental health is not a sign of weakness, but an act of strength. And now we're here at the heart of our message. Embrace, don't erase. Mental health isn't something to be swept under the rug or hidden in the shadows. It's a crucial part of our human experience that deserves understanding, acceptance, and open discussion. We all have a role to play in this. In our daily interactions, let's practice empathy and kindness. Let's be patient with ourselves and with others. Let's listen without judgment, and let's speak without fear. Remember, mental health matters. Yours, mine, everyone's. Let's embrace it, not erase it.